Now, the rest of the story.
Okay, so I'm going to try to talk quick and over top of the rain that's coming. Running the 9770 last fall, there was a distinct hum every time we turned the feeder house on. And we went through, we did the drum, and this is all back on, so I'm not going to show it. There's a slip clutch up here that is supposed to be torqued down to 280 foot-pounds. It was finger tight. What? 258 foot-pounds. That was finger tight, so that was potentially an issue. The chain is new. These tighteners back here, which I know it's dark, that actually are what you use to tighten the feeder house chain. That is good and tight now, up to where it should be. These pieces right here. It ended up being determined that what failed was this whole assembly right here, and the bracket that actually holds it and supports it. Oh, that's absolutely atrocious. Is that the red's going north of us, right? Looks like it. No, we're having a pretty wet August for everybody saying it's supposed to be so dry. The bracket has been known to break. We've done this on the 9510 in season, so this isn't entirely new to us. But it likes to break out here.
Which it's not.
Did you look in the back? Can't really see through the rust. Right. What's that right there? No, I think we're good.
It doesn't matter because it's broken.
Dad doesn't trust my welding skills. It's got a crack right through here.
That's where they're known to break.
Which history says that's where they typically like to break. So this is going to be new. This one has to be new. This is new.
The whole thing.
So this whole assembly is new.
Are going to be new.
What is actually, because there's these cast pieces, they're supposed to be, these are the forks?
Supposed to be two teeth that stick up here like this, about this high, about this wide. They're wore down to that. Two of them.
Because when this was on the combine, I didn't get it on camera, but when both of these were together, you could actually grab it and spin them opposite of each other, like a good quarter turn, and you can see all the metal flakes and that. So,
That's junk.
yeah, it's fried. This gives you a little bit of an idea about what we're looking at. This is a two-piece assembly. This down through here is bolted on. This can be brand new. I'm fairly confident looking at that grease down in there that I'm the only one that's probably put grease in this thing in the last 10 years, because that's fresh grease from me. This piece up through here you can see is worn. Gives you an idea about what it should look like, and this is what we got.
Supposed to be a mesh fit, completed tight between these two and the other part of the hub.
Yeah.
Tight. Well, you can see there.
Just, yeah, banging back and forth. Because when you turn the feeder house on, it's not like a gnarly growl, but it's a hum. Well, this is what's doing it, which at this rate, we'd rather have it be something that is clear cut, obviously a catastrophic wear point, as opposed to not being able to find anything after tearing it all apart and going into harvest uncertain as to what's actually making the noise. So an expensive find, but it's more of a peace of mind knowing that this is what's wrong with it.
I put a new one in. Get it off. Yeah, it's got
Yep. Everything we need for that hub and this shiv and this thing.
That's our grease too.
What's that?
Is that center supposed to pull out of there?
This you're talking?
Yeah, that pulled right out of there when we took it apart. Oops, this here came right out.
Oh, yeah. That's supposed to move it. It's just a piston. That's what pushes. This is the piston that pushes them in and out.
Okay. Yeah.
It sends oil in there.
So that's good.
Yeah, as long as it ain't leaking, you're good.
No, it
on
wasn't
that.
leaking.
You should be fine there.
And then we're going to need, like I say, we're going to need this and this and that and all the bearings, the seals,
Yeah.
and the 2 belts that run on that.
Pretty sure I got everything.
Really?
Mhm.
These?
Mhm.
Holy shit.
Like I say, it's not uncommon.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure I got that too.
Well, that's awesome.
You didn't get off so lucky today.
Oh, the final update on this piece, just because we got all the parts from the dealership. They had everything. I think they had 2 of everything, but I wanted you guys to at least see what we're missing. These cast pieces. They call them forks, ears. I think I've heard them called a couple things, but expensive. But where's the other piece? Well, it's that one. But that's the old one. Where's
the truck? It's in the other hood.
this? We're coming from this, which, from the looks of it, we got kind of lucky that we were able to do what we did with it last fall. But for the noise it was making, it's actually nice to know we actually found a pretty obvious sign of failing.
Oh, new ones in the box.
Oh, well, I'm not going to dig that out, but at least you can see this is what we were dealing with. So there's that. Ryan is working on replacing the belt, and I was in the process of doing that, and I looked in to check on this, or all of them. There's the four across there, which these are a lot easier to get out. Just 2 bolts here and 2 bolts on the other end, but the bearing on this end wasn't failed. It was failing, but it was still working. Say the ball bearings were all exposed, and this is the new one. It's kind of nice when you do have some of these random, simple standard parts. Say 1-inch bearings are simple enough, so slide that on, which might only wants to go on so far, but I took the torch to the old one because hitting it with the impact wasn't doing it, and I didn't. This feels like we're hitting probably either where the old set screw was. Yep. So the old set screw, I'm gonna have to shine that up or grind it down just a little bit. That's still warm, but we did hit the shaft with the chisel, the punch. Trying to eat that out. So she's coming together. The last thing I can show you, actually, I gotta turn the power switch back on, because anybody that wants to chime in here, feel free to, but that's the main power shut off for the combine. And I did this last night. It's on my list of things I'm going to do today. I got one of the cameras on for the cab. So as you can see, it's on the power strip that's in the cab, and it's on full time. So I actually shut the monitors off last night, and we're going to have the general rule of thumb be we're just going to shut the power switch off when we're done using it or moving it around. So this has been, well, pricey, which I got better terms for it, but this has been a kind of pricey pre-season maintenance prep for the combine. But I chalk a lot of it up to running it. The one with the extreme grease in it? That was still on the bench. It's that blue one. What he's asking about, there is a extreme duty synthetic grease, food grade. Whoops, it's mad at me. That's new. Oh, okay. Yeah. It calls for the reverser, the extreme duty grease. It's food grade, and it almost looks like white silicone. but we've pretty much come to the conclusion for the combine itself. The stuff is pricey. It's like $11, a little over $11 a tube. We got a whole box dedicated to it, and my intentions are we're just going to have a grease gun dedicated for that extreme duty grease. And to be completely honest, I'm probably going to find one of the, we used to have them on all the tractors, the grease gun mounts where you can clamp them right to the frame, and I'm probably going to mount that grease gun directly to the combine. It's going to get dirty and dusty on the combine, yes, but you go through and you wipe everything off, and you pump it out, a little bit of grease out the tip, and clean it up, and you're good. So our intentions are, it's not going to hurt anything, but we're going to put that extreme duty grease across the whole combine when we go to service it, not just the regular the heavy duty stuff. We don't do standard duty anything when it comes to grease, just because I'd rather use the high-end stuff. So this is the backup monitor, which this one, it originally came up down here, but my intentions are, you get it? My intentions are the grain tank camera is going to show up on this one. So this way we're going to have the yield monitor, we're going to have the backup monitor, and we're going to have the cab or the grain tank monitor. The big difference I'm going to be doing between this camera that I just secured solid to the backup alarm, this one I'm actually going to put it on a magnet mount. It came with a round magnet puck that you can bolt the camera to it, so that way when we fold out the grain tank extension or fold it back down, it's a lot simpler to be able to do that without having to unwire anything. So that's the upside to that. The monitors actually turned out really well. I was worried there's going to be too much movement here in this bracket, and actually it's pretty solid. The big thing, I was worried about the seat being able to hit it, but the seat is all the way up, and I don't gotta worry about any of us sliding this thing ahead. To be honest, I wish I could slide it back a little bit, because it's still, we got plenty of leg room, but it feels like the 9510, the cab was extended out just a little bit more. It's really no big deal. It just kind of noticing that as I'm sitting here. But as we're sitting, we can see easily all our screens, and then this one is on, which it's not going to bring anything. Oh, we got blue screen. We can see everything without being, blocked by anything. So you can definitely see the yellow monitor, or the yellow light is on behind there. I think that's partly due because the batteries might be a little tired from the camera being on all night, but I think I've already covered what we're gonna do to cover that. And then honestly, the combine, that being, or this deal underneath here on the feeder house, is going to be our most expensive repair, pre-season work that needs to be done to it. And then hopefully with the combine being done for the most part, I got to do the hydraulic oil filters, and I got to grease it, but I won't grease it for a little bit yet. And then we'll be able to roll in the bean head in particular. Corn head needs some attention too, just to pre-season it, but the bean head we want to get out here, hook up to it, put the new cutter bar in it, wear plates, and then make sure that the automatic header height is going to work like it's supposed to, because on the 9510 the automatic header height on the combine worked, but the bean head, no matter how much we would clean it up and have everything freed up, it seems like it would only work for a few days, and then things would start to bind again. And the head in itself was old and well worn when Grandpa bought it, so us using it as long as we did is actually kind of a miracle. So that's kind of where we're at on the combine. Looking forward to using it this fall, don't get me wrong, but it'll be nice to, with the way the crops look, to actually drop in and harvest some money, right? Thanks for tuning in, guys. Take care, take it easy, keep in touch. I'll talk to you later.